Have you ever been in a situation where there's an issue or problem that everyone knows about, but no one wants to talk about it? That's the elephant in the room. It's large and significant and impossible to ignore, yet everyone involved is pretending not to see or acknowledge it. However, the more you ignore it, the more it can result in tension, stress, and even damage to personal or professional relationships. But you're uneasy about it, right? Which could be why you've ignored it this long. Why rock the boat, or take a chance on everything getting worse? But what if there's a way to confront the elephant in the room head-on, and come up with a solution, together? In this video, we'll discuss how to deal with the elephant in the room, and provide you with encouragement for handling the challenging talk ahead for you. Join us as we shatter the silence, and strive to forge deeper connections through open and truthful discussion. Let's confront the elephant in the room, and move forward together. As a healthy village. To begin, if an elephant is typically 13 feet tall, and weighs about 1,100 pounds, well, it really can't be ignored, can it? It's huge and obvious, which means if you come into a room where there's a fully grown elephant standing in the corner, well, you have to pretend not to see it. You have to pretend it isn't there. That's what we do when we ignore the elephant in the room. We're pretending it, or the problem or issue, doesn't exist. We're consciously ignoring something that's quite obvious. And there are a number of reasons for this. Perhaps the matter is unsettling or delicate, and you're concerned about upsetting someone or igniting a fight. Or maybe you're concerned about being criticized or judged for bringing up the subject. Or perhaps you're ignoring the matter because you don't know how to address it, or you don't have the necessary tools or resources to handle it. Can't you see how easy it is to choose to just ignore the topic? The whole thing is overwhelming and difficult, and mix that with all your uncertainties about how to bring it up, no less how to proceed in trying to rectify anything and move forward. As my kid's sister sometimes says, let's just forget the whole thing. Then there are those of us who ignore the elephant, while telling ourselves that if we wait long enough, the problem will go away by itself, or my personal favorite, someone else will eventually address it. Sisters, I've learned this lesson the hard way, and that's for 1, the elephant's going nowhere. 2, I can hold my breath as long as I want, but there's always someone who can hold theirs longer. And then 3, deal with it now or deal with it later, but it will eventually have to be dealt with. And in the meantime, there's tension, mistrust amongst those involved, as well as the feeling that one's concerns are being belittled, minimized, or ignored altogether. You're either feeling this or the other person involved is. Either way there's a breach, however slight or large, in the relationship. And that's the reason why you need to take a deep breath, suck it up, take the bull by the horns and just deal with it. This has been my speech to myself as well as me now giving this talk to you. I have witnessed where shutting one's eyes and ignoring the problem hasn't resulted in it magically going away or rectifying itself. Instead, neglecting the problem resulted in adverse and long-term effects. Over time, any problem or issue can get bigger and more complicated, making it all the more difficult to address as time goes on. On top of that, is the stress and tension between yourself and the other person or persons involved, first eroding, then potentially ruining a once close relationship altogether, because the affection and trust is no longer there. Only by confronting the issue at hand, can all involved parties move forward and finally search out a solution to the problem. But that means everyone has to first acknowledge there's an elephant in the room, before they can work towards getting rid of it. Everyone has to see the whole entire picture. And they have to see the same picture, before they can work towards a solution. What if I'm so close to the elephant that all I can see is the trunk, and all you can see is the ear, and all the other person can see is the tail? Nobody has the whole entire elephant of the story, right? All any of us have is just our little piece, seen from our own individual perspective. What if that's part of the problem? We're all so close to the problem that we can only see it from our point of view. Then perhaps what's needed is for everyone to take a step back, and see the whole elephant, the entire issue. Me seeing not only my part of the issue, but seeing, for the first time, that you have your part as well, and that both parts need to be understood and considered. This is how resolutions began. So how do you go about dealing with the elephant in the room, in a constructive and fruitful way? First, acknowledge the problem. See the elephant in the room. Point it out and be the first, if need be, to say let's deal with it here and now, once and for all. Be brave and orchestrate the meeting between yourself and the other person or persons. Be brave. Next, get down to the root of the problem. All you're going to do is go around in circles, if everyone involved doesn't understand what caused the issue in the first place. Sisters, figure out what the issue is, the root cause of the problem, and agree that it needs to be settled. See the entire elephant, and not in a blaming or finger-pointing way, but in a probing, inquiring way. Once that's done, it's time for a serious and honest discussion concerning it. It may be emotional, painful even, but it's necessary. The elephant's been in the room long enough. It's time for it to go. Just remember, you want to deal with the elephant in a respectful, supportive, and caring manner, in a way that's sensitive and understanding to all others involved. Remember, the point of all this is to mend fences and get the relationship back on track. I don't know about you, but as an introvert I only have so many close friends. I can't afford to be on the outs with anyone, and I don't want to be. I need my whole village. And you need yours. Next, after discussing and identifying the problem, you need to brainstorm potential solutions. This brainstorming will likely require you to consider all approaches to resolving the issue, and not just your own. Don't get angry if the person or persons involved don't feel your approach is the right way to go. Be open. Listen with an open mind. It's very easy to get all wrapped up in your own position and feelings, especially if you believe someone rejecting your idea is akin to them rejecting you. It's not. Listen to and seriously consider everything that's put out there, and be open to meeting the other person halfway. You might not get the entire solution you wanted, maybe only half. Can you live with that? Before you get all dug in and don't want to entertain the thought of moving off your square, be sure that's the real spot or solution you want, or are you stuck on a spot that you dug for yourself some time ago, and now it's no longer really all that crucial, but you've been standing there so long, you don't realize you can move a bit and still not give up very much space. You can still be the winner, if that's what's important to you. You just need to make sure the other person or persons can feel like they've won something too. Here are sisters, this isn't going to get resolved if the other person feels as if they've had to give up the most to seek a solution. The point is to find a happy medium, a compromise, and believe me, there isn't much that has happened in our relationships where that happy medium can't be found. Recognize that this isn't ultimately about being the winner. This is about re-establishing the relationship and regaining trust. It's about getting rid of the elephant in the room, once and for all, and forever. Period. Know this, by confronting the issue head-on, everyone involved is able to speak honestly and openly, resulting in greater understanding and trust between you. Can't you see that getting rid of the elephant in the room can result in the relationship being strengthened in a way that promotes openness, honesty, and respect? Guess what else is gone with the elephant in the room? Tension, stress, and distance between you and the other person. It's been replaced with affection, loyalty, and trust. What the relationship has been missing. Here are sisters, life is too short to have an elephant following you around, showing up in every room you enter, adversely affecting the atmosphere and creating an environment of stress and mistrust. By facing the elephant in the room head-on, we can all build stronger relationships, and create a more positive and genuine environment for our bond to flourish. So, don't be afraid to speak up, initiate that conversation, be an open listener, and work with a genuine heart and mind towards regaining and sustaining a healthy and fruitful relationship. As always, thanks for watching, and leave a comment below if you wish. Until next time.